Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Haskins on 1st down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Jordan Reed has it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Haskins. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42. Haskins now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31, check 52, check 26, check 26. Watch the edge. 66, bullet, high. Squeeze.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. He's got a man complete. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. And even 40 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Room here to run. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And this one complete to Reed.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And Robinson with a big catch. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
That's trash. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. 25, check 25, check 25. Slam, slam, so. Shit.
On 1st down, this is Geis. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right. Out. 3 down. Mike, 2. Watch 2. Watch
2nd down, Haskins. That'll be caught at Steven Sims. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
SOS. Joker. Switch. Check. Cross. Kill.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got
weaving through traffic and now play there. 97 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. So from back deep, deep in their own territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 27 yards there, a first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think
that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Haskins. Open man here, Sims, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check. Zoom. Mike 2.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. Looking long for his tight end Reed. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Haskins back to the air. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Intended for number 15, incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Final play of the half, it's Haskins. Looking long for his tight end Reed. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Love. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins looking long for his tight end read. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The throw taken in by Sims. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give the Redskins 13 there and a 1st down. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They go play action with Haskins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Haskins will throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Switch.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play.
Let's go now. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On second down now. It's Elliott trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd.
Come on.
They're going to look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it?
In your face. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
From the gun, it's Haskins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw, Haskins. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Tressway now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some more.
And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Washington. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Haskins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack, Haskins. DeMarcus Lawrence. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Elsewhere at Arrowhead, they're in the 3rd quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Here's Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They'll get 34 yards there.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. From the red zone now, Haskins on 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at
all. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now it's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Let's go. Here we go. Not a good. Alert 3. What? Go.
On the ground, Geis. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Haskins to throw it. And it'll be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. That one complete to Elliott. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Hey, let's get some penetration here.
2nd and 5. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, they get a fourth-quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Haskins to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. That he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Zerline good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But
this is taken in. It's complete. And he coughed it up, and the Cowboys have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They start on the ground with Elliott. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Flush to his right. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Reuben Foster picks it. Cooper was the target there. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being...
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Eric Armstead able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Watch 2. Watch 2.
They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 40. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been and give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter. And the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Haskins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They are in the 4th in Buffalo, and the Bills have wound up winning that one. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He's going to sling this deep down, and that's caught inside the 35. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll set up to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
Guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final